The views and opinions expressed in the DILLIGAF podcast are those of the host alone and are not intended to express those of any other person, business, or entity. The DILLIGAF podcast is for entertainment only. These are my opinions and should not be interpreted as facts or advice. Think for yourself.
Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah. I think that we've all had enough.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the DILLIGAF podcast, talking about anything and everything that interests me. If it makes me think, laugh, cry, scream, rage, or say what the fuck, you'll hear about it. Yeah, my name's Tom. I'm your host. It's been a little while. Haven't put out a new episode in about a month. Basically took May off. My birthday month. I'm allowed. So just took some time off, but I am back. I want to thank everybody for checking out the show. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, rate, comment. All that stuff really helps the show out. Make sure you follow on social media and all platforms. You can find the show at DILLIGAF_pod. And make sure to check out my Linktree, which is Linktree/DILLIGAF_pod, or scan the little QR code right there in the corner of your screen, and you'll get all the links to all the social medias, the podcast platforms, the YouTube, all that kind of fun stuff. If you ever want to shoot me an email, it's dilligafpod@gmail.com. So, like I said, been away for about a month. Well, haven't been away, but haven't put out a new episode. So here we are. It is now June. It'll be June the 8th when this episode actually drops. And yeah, there's a couple of significant things about the month of June that I want to talk about. Number one, I think everybody knows June is Pride Month for the LGBT community, and rightfully so. The members of this community have, throughout history, have gone through literal hell to get where they are today, just to get the rights and privileges and mostly equality that they have today. So yeah, they deserve a month to celebrate that. But there's so many people that have so many issues with the LGBT community, and I don't get it. Let people live their lives. That's my thing. Live your life however works best for you. So long as the way you live does not harm other people, have at it. Do your thing. Live your life. Live the best possible life that you can live. And people just don't seem to understand that. They think for some reason the way other people live their lives affects them, and it really doesn't. And I say some people, let's be real, it's mostly conservative, overly religious lunatics that feel this way. So, and they're never going to change. The best thing you can do, best thing anybody can do, is ignore them, because they're out of their goddamn minds. That's my opinion. Like it says at the beginning of the show, these are my opinions. But let this community have their month to celebrate who they are, to celebrate how far they have come and the things that they have accomplished. Because there are still parts of the world where being a part of the LGBT community is punishable by death. That is crazy to me. And again, those are parts of the world that are ruled by conservative, overly religious fucking lunatics. That's the only reason behind it. And these people like to take their so-called sacred texts and twist them to suit their own feelings and their own narratives, and it's fucking insanity. But besides Pride Month, June is also Men's Mental Health Month. And that's something that I don't think gets a lot of attention, because for so long, and still in a lot of ways, there's been this stigma, this stereotype. Men aren't supposed to have emotions. Men aren't supposed to have feelings. Men are just supposed to bury everything down inside, and I'm a man, and fuck you. I mean, last I checked, men are still human beings. We have feelings, we have emotions, we get stressed out. Me personally, I deal with anxiety and depression. At times it has been severe. Like, my anxiety has damn near killed me on more than one occasion. And it's more or less controlled now. I mean, I still have bouts of depression that will kind of kick my ass for a couple of weeks, but nowhere near like it used to be. Same thing with my anxiety. It'll flare up some days and be can be pretty bad, but nothing like it used to be. I used to have multiple panic attacks every day, and it would last for hours, and it was terrifying. I ended up in the hospital more than once thinking I was having a heart attack. So anybody's mental health is important. May is actually just mental health awareness month in general, but June is specifically men's mental health awareness month. I and obviously, I have a stake in this one. I don't think it's something that should be overlooked because you know, men do take their lives at a higher rate, or at the highest rate. I mean, a majority of people that take their lives are men, unfortunately, because again, there is that stigma, that stereotype. We can't have emotions, we can't show our feelings, we can't express our feelings or anything like that. If you do talk about it, you're somehow less of a man. You're less masculine somehow. Whatever. And again, that's a very old school point of view that I personally don't agree with. We're all human beings. We all have emotions. We all go through struggles in our life, some more than others, some more extreme than others. But nobody's got a perfect life. Everybody struggles at one point or another, and everybody's got emotions, and everybody gets down on themselves at certain times. And so I think it is important to shine a light on that, whether it be men, women, children, whatever. Mental health is so important, and so many people just want to discount it, like, oh, that's not real. Depression's not real. It's in your head. You can control it. Bullshit. Until you have experienced it, you have no idea what you're talking about. And I'll say it, I used to be the same way. Unfortunately, I was so ignorant until it hit me. Actually, no, I'll take that back, because before it hit me, it hit somebody I care about. Somebody very important to me, a member of my family. I'm not gonna get any more specific than that. But I saw the effect that it had on them. With them, it was anxiety and panic attacks. And that's the point where I said, okay, this isn't something that you can just snap your fingers or just, you know, get a grip on it. And no, it doesn't work that way. And then a couple years later is when it hit me. And that's when I really figured it out. Like, no, it's not just something that's just in your head and you have control over it, because you don't. And unless you've experienced it, you don't have a clue. So it is something that needs to be recognized. It's something that needs to have a light shine on it, and something that we should be able to talk freely and openly about, because it's important. Mental health is just as important as physical health. And again, I'm talking about across the board for everybody, men, women, and children. It just so happens June focuses on the men, May focused on everybody. And just I mean, take care of yourselves, talk to somebody. If you're having mental health struggles, I guarantee you there's somebody that will understand. There's somebody you can talk to, whether it's a friend, family member, maybe it's a coworker, maybe if you are a religious person, maybe it's a pastor or something, or a teacher or something. But don't ignore mental health ever. Don't that everybody's got a voice in their head. Some people call it your conscience, some, whatever you want to call it. Listen to it. And if it's off, if it's telling you some weird shit, like, making you feel bad about yourself, talk to somebody. Because you're not alone. I promise you that. Hell, send me an email. I'll talk to you. Send me an email, send me a DM. I'll talk to you, because I've been there. Mental health is, like I said, just as important as physical health. People work out and go to the doctors regularly and eat right to keep their body healthy. It's just as important to keep your mind healthy. So whatever you have to do to do that, like find things that you enjoy doing that make you happy. if your job is what's dragging you down, there's nothing wrong with looking for a new one. I'm not saying up and quit and walk out. No, because that won't help. That's just gonna add more stress. But look for a new one. There's nothing wrong with that. Not always the easiest thing in the world to do, but there's always options when it comes to something like that. And worst case scenario, just remember, it's just a job. It's not life. Unless you are a doctor or a police officer or a firefighter or something like that. Had to pause for a quick second there, so that's probably why you saw a little cut or a jump in the video. But like I was saying, unless you are a police officer, a doctor, a firefighter, something along those lines, I promise you, your job is not a life or death situation. I promise you. So remember, it's just a job. It's not your whole life. Because I know that's one thing that I know a lot about is job stress or jobs that just kind of beat you down. Because I've had a few of those in my time. They're not fun. It's not fun to deal with, and it will do some real damage to your mental health. So, that's kind of what I had to start telling myself, like, you know what? It's just a job. It's just the way I make money. It's not the end of the world, and it's not my whole life. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say it again. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So take care of yourself both ways, mentally and physically. And so those are the two kind of major things for June is Pride and Men's Mental Health Month. But with those two things, I've seen so many dumbasses on social media bitching and moaning, and it's more so from the the men online, and complaining it's not Pride Month, it's men's mental health, that's more important. Shut the fuck up. It can be both. And I hate to tell you this, it's not just those two things this month. Every month of the year has multiple causes or communities or awarenesses or heritage months attached to it every month of the year. Just for June, it's also Gun Violence Awareness Month. How many of y'all knew that? It's also Migraine and Headache Awareness Month. I'm part of that community too. I get migraines are bad, but yeah, it's also National Safety Month. It's Scoliosis Awareness Month. If you don't know what scoliosis is, it's a spinal condition. Look it up. It's African American Music Appreciation Month. I didn't know that one. It's also Caribbean American Heritage Month. Didn't know that one either. And then there's certain days throughout the month, like today, June 7th, the day I'm recording, show's dropping June 8th, but today it's International Donut Day. Go have a freaking donut and calm down about, about wanting a month all to yourself. But you've also got Father's Day coming up on the 16th. Family Health and Fitness Day is on June 12th. Cancer Survivors Day is June 6th. So that was yesterday. And then you have Autistic Pride Day, which is June 18th. So it's another Pride Day in the month of June. And then June 27th is PTSD Awareness Day. Another very, I mean, all of these things I just mentioned are important, but PTSD kind of folds in with the men's mental health and mental health in general. And the reason I kind of am focusing on those three, Pride Month, men's mental health, and PTSD awareness, is because, and this is just me guessing, I didn't look up statistics, but it stands to reason with Pride Month, men's mental health, PTSD. There's a lot of crossover in those communities. Men that are members of the LGBT community, like I said, the people of that community have gone through hell in their lives. I mean, they've dealt with persecution, oppression, harassment, threats, being ostracized from their families a lot of times, being ostracized from their social groups, from their churches. Like I said, it's still punishable by death in some countries. You're going to tell me the that they don't have mental health concerns? Yeah, they do. I'm sure just the rate of generalized anxiety among the LGBT community is through the roof. Because and that's why another reason, yeah, they absolutely deserve a month to celebrate themselves, to be proud of themselves and who they are and how far they have come. I will never be the one to try and take that away from them, ever. And I have a lot of friends that are members of the LGBT community, and I fully 1000% support them. And also PTSD. I mean, there you hear so many stories about the abuse that people suffer, just for coming out, just for letting the people in their lives know, hey, I'm gay or I'm trans or whatever the case may be. The amount of mental abuse and unfortunately sometimes physical abuse, you're going to tell me there are not cases of PTSD in the LGBT community. So yeah, I think there's a lot of overlap in these communities, and I think it's fitting that they fall in the same month. I'm not going to be one of these dumbasses out here saying, men's mental health is more important. And I'm sure it's happened too. I haven't personally seen it, so I'm making an assumption. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I'm sure there's members of the LGBT community that are saying this is our month, and fuck men's mental health. I have heard people say that. I don't know if they're members of the LGBT community or not, but I have heard people say that. Fuck men's mental health, man. There's a lot of anti-male sentiment out there on the internet, and in a lot of cases, rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. A lot of us deserve it. But I just, like I said, I think it's very appropriate that all these things fall in the same month, because I think, there are quite a lot of people who fit into all three of those communities, all three of those categories, to as far as pride and men's mental health and PTSD. Personally, I fit into two of them. And as far as the LGBT community, I consider myself a supporter. So, I just don't understand the mentality that it takes. Because think about, if you're one of these guys out here on TikTok saying it's Men's Mental Health Month and that's it, it's not Pride. Think about what you're doing. You're out here thinking you're advocating for men's mental health. Meanwhile, you're think about what you're doing to someone else's mental health by telling them that their community doesn't count. You're an idiot if you're spouting that kind of shit off. There's room in the month for all of us. There really is. And then you get people, why is there no straight Pride Month? When's the last time you got harassed, bullied, beat up, threatened, or your rights taken away for being straight? I guarantee you the answer is never. So you don't need a Pride Month if you're straight. But again, people don't get that. By the same token, people saying, oh, men's mental health doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. I promise you it does. And, people just need to think outside of their own little personal bubble. Because, there's other people out there. And I'm realizing this podcast is kind of sounding like a lecture this week, but hey, that's okay. I guess that's kind of the point of this one. It is, yes, there's more than one cause, more than one awareness thing going on this month, and that's okay. There's room for all of it. We're all people. We fall into different categories for certain things in our lives. Some of us fall into multiple categories. Some fall, into a dozen different categories. That's okay. There's room for everybody. But people want to be selfish for some reason. And I don't get it. I really don't. Like, let other people live their lives. It's not a hard concept. Like I said, if you are living your best life and you're being your true self and you're being true to yourself and you are happy, live your life the way that's best for you. Like I said, as long as you are not causing harm to anybody else, do your thing and more power to you. That's it. It really is that simple. The old cliche, live and let live. But people need to stop and think about that sometimes. Live and let live. Live your life and let other people live theirs. They're not hurting you. They're not doing anything to you. But people want to sit here, especially when it comes to Pride Month. Oh, they're shoving it down our throats. No, they're not. Seriously, nobody's asking you to go to Pride Parade. Nobody's asking you to go hang out at a gay bar or anything like that. So how is anybody shoving it down your throat? Just because these people are living their lives. Because they weren't always able to. Members of that community were not always to live their life. We're not always able to live their lives openly and freely. And for the most part, now they can. Don't get me wrong. There's still work to be done, obviously, because there's still people, harassing members of this community and threatening them and telling them that they're horrible and evil and they're going to hell and they're poisoning our children. And shut the fuck up. That's all I can really say to those people is shut the fuck up. Just for a little while. Just shut up for June. Just do that at least, please. But yeah, I don't know, guys. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how concerned some people are about other people's lives. It's like, do you not have enough going on in your own life? To get a hobby. Because harassing people that are different from you, that's not a hobby. That's, in a lot of cases, it's criminal. But I guess, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week. I wanted to acknowledge Pride Month, Men's Mental Health Month, PTSD Awareness Day on the 27th, and remind people there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on this month too. Just like there's a whole bunch of other causes and awarenesses and heritage and all this stuff every month of the year. If you're out here complaining because there's more than one thing going on this month, you're an idiot. Seriously, just Google the term awareness months and you'll get a list for every month of the year what all the different awarenesses are. I don't even know if that's the proper term to be using for it, but whatever. But just, yeah, Google the term awareness month, then Google heritage month. And then, you will see a list and there will be multiple entries for every single month of the year. And then you have the individual days for certain things too. So no one month belongs to any one group. Learn to share. Isn't that something that they tried to teach us all in kindergarten? Learn to share. Share the Play-Doh, share the toys, share the freaking month. Again, if you really have that strong feelings against the LGBT community, don't go to their parade. I mean, where's the issue? They're not bothering you. If you really think men's mental health is not important, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're an asshole. And if you think PTSD is not a real thing, then you're just plain stupid. Because I've actually heard people, PTSD isn't real. Yeah, it is. It's been around for a long time. Back in World War I, they called it shell shock. And George Carlin, my favorite comedian, has a whole rant about this because, first it was shell shock, then it was battle fatigue, then it was called something else, and then it's finally post-traumatic stress disorder. And the reason he talks about this is because there's no emotion in it anymore. Like shell shock, it it obviously was a term originally specifically used for soldiers, and it was pretty much self-explanatory. Shell shock. It almost sounds like the bomb or the gun going off. And I'm not trying to be comedic about it, because it really, I mean, now it's not even really called post-traumatic stress disorder anymore. Everybody knows it now as PTSD. There's no emotion, no feeling in it. I think that's why a lot of people don't pay any attention to it. Maybe Carlin was right. Maybe if we still called it shell shock, it'd get a little bit more of the attention it deserves, and it'd be taken a little more seriously. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap me up for this week. I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to acknowledge all the different things going on this month. Yeah, again, like I said, today, June 7th, as I'm recording, it's International Donut Day. And I didn't have a freaking donut. I'm kind of pissed. But I got to remember to start closing that window before I record, because people always drive by honking their horns. I don't even know if the mic picked that up or not, but oh well. But yeah, like I said, the ones that everybody knows about is Pride, of course. Happy Pride to the LGBT community. Hope you all have a great month. Celebrate, party your asses off, because you deserve it. Men's Mental Health Month. Check in on the men in your lives. Ask them how they're doing, and ask them to be honest about how they're doing, because we're gonna lie. You say, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm all right. I'm okay." That's all you're gonna get. Dig deeper. Dig a little deeper. Get them talking, because it really does help to know that somebody is concerned. And yeah, also PTSD Awareness Day coming up on the 27th. Again, another, really, I'm not going to say overlooked, because everybody knows what PTSD is. They know what it's about, what causes it. But it's definitely something that, needs to be observed and recognized. So yeah, whatever June means to you, I hope you have a great month of June, great week. I plan to be back next week and every week, for at least the next couple of months. I'm going to be taking another vacation in July and then another one in September. So I'll probably be gone somewhere around those times, but for the most part, I plan to be back every week now. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening on YouTube or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, rate, comment, all that kind of fun stuff. Really does help the show. Give me a follow on social media on all platforms. You can find the show at DILLIGAF_pod. Make sure to check out my Linktree, which is Linktree/DILLIGAF_pod, or scan the QR code. You'll find links to everything regarding the show. And if you want to shoot me an email, it's dilligafpod@gmail.com. And like I said, with regards to mental health, it's just as important as your physical health. If you feel, if you feel your mental health is not what it should be, talk to somebody. Like I said, email me. I'll talk to you. Shoot me a DM, something, because I'm here. I will answer. I've been there. I've been through the depression. I've been through the anxiety, the stress. I can at least relate on some level. May not be the exact same level that you're on, may not be the exact same situation that you're having, but I can at least relate a little bit. And if nothing else, I can always listen, because I know that can help too. So anybody and everybody, feel free to always reach out. But again, thank you to everybody for checking out the show. And as always, if anyone has any issues with anything that I have said here today, ask yourself one question: do I look like I give a fuck? 'Cause we want retribution.